You know, Abotai, it's been 3 weeks since we all saw the horrors that happened in Eretz Israel. I think we can speak on behalf of the entire Am Yisrael that it wasn't an easy few weeks. It was hard to work, it was hard to study, it was hard to go back to our routines, it was hard to really do anything. To go as far as saying that we've been telling people, I think the last few weeks gave us an understanding of what it feels like to be like depressed, to feel completely paralyzed from our thoughts, paralyzed from being able to act, paralyzed from moving on in life in every way, shape or form. Many times we've tried to get up and to explain our thoughts and maybe to explain what this means from a spiritual perspective, but to be very honest, we had a hard time digesting it even ourselves. And I think we can say this on behalf of everyone. This is not something that we understand, it's not something that we will understand, it's not something that we've ever thought that in our lifetime we would have the sadness to witness such things. But you know, Abotai, now that this is behind us and we're entering into a very interesting time, I would even say in history, I think that it's very important that we all understand what's really happening here. You know, when we are talking to people and they mention the war between Eretz Israel and Gaza, we extremely condemn such an even way of describing this war. This is not a war against two countries. Throughout our life, we've been in Eretz Israel when there were many conflicts. And those conflicts, as hard as they felt, being that it's Eretz Israel, it's our home, there is like this disconnect of feeling personal to us. Because it's two countries with two political structures that are not agreeing with one another. What happened 3 weeks ago was the simple instinct that occurs in every generation. The instinct that the world has of B'chol dor v'dor amad aleinu lechalotenu. That in every generation, there is always a group that gets up and does everything in their power to erase not Eretz Israel, but Bnei Israel. When we look at this war, it's not a war for land. It's not a war for money. It's not a war for power. It's not a war for anything. It's a war that simply the world wants to get rid of us. The world wants to slaughter us. And being that that's the case, we're telling everyone, this is a war that's not just in Eretz Israel. Sitra Achra, the evil inclination, will make sure that this war will spread regardless of where we are. And I think it's so important that we all at least understand that and prepare ourselves physically, because we all need to do physical ishtadlut, effort. But even from a spiritual perspective, realize that the journey is long ahead of us. And the sooner that we come to a place of understanding that this war is ours to fight in many, many ways, shapes or forms, the sooner we will all be able to truly understand how to react and how to feel and how to deal with all the things that we are going through. The one thing we could say is that in every generation, as a nation, we've been through this. Whether it be at the time of the Shoah, the Romans, the Egyptians, the Spanish Inquisition, we've always been attacked from every single angle. And in every generation, we can get up and we can say that not only that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us the ability to survive and gives us the chance to get up in streets and scream, Am Yisrael Chai, but in every single instance, we're able to come out even stronger. It's like the example that on Pesach, we boil an egg. And the idea is that usually when you boil something, it softens. Anything you boil becomes softer in hot water. An egg, the more you boil it, the more you try to put pressure on it, the harder it becomes. Am Yisrael is a nation that when we get put in a corner, we pull out our greatest weapon possible. That great weapon being the unity and the power that we hold together, and that great weapon being the closeness and our ability to connect to the strongest power being HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Rabotai, to the strongest power being HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Rabotai, we're going to get through this. And not only that, we're going to get through this, we're going to come out so much more powerful than we ever thought we could be. Period. Rabotai, this is a war that if we all come together in unity, regardless from communities and backgrounds and businesses and differences and arguments, if we all come together, we could, Rabotai, make this war, make this conflict the last one. And I think, Rabotai, that this is the minimum that we can all do for all those young boys, men, children, elderly, that lost their lives to wake us up with a very simple goal to bring us all together. And I think, Rabotai, I've seen this in action. I've never seen homicide. I never seen us as a people so willing to give for one another. And I think, Rabotai, that we started a momentum that we must follow through.